that Ryder didn't have quite yet. So if Quinnipiac wants to take an advantage, it has to be with that synergy as well. And the composition is going right into this map as we jump in with the compositions that we were talking about. Firewall with the Rhine Zarya being brought by Quinnipiac University.
Yeah, Ryan Zarya is going to be a nice brawly comp coming out from both sides as well. Quinnipiac decides to opt for the high ground here for this initial engagement, trying to continue peppering down from above and create any form of advantage. We see that McCree and Hanzo there just continuing to pump in the damage and trying to probably find an opening pick as well. There comes the drop down, and well, right now the Maywall did section them off and cause a little bit of a lag behind the remainder of Quinnipiac to drop down. One of their members has gone down, and now another one has as well. And well, Dryad, that is going to have to be a reset coming through.
Yeah, it's going to be the reset coming through from the sort of Quinnipiac University. A little bit of what we expected from RIT was a lot of aggression. That's what Chalkman brought right to the table. Already have the high noon for next fight. It's going to be important along with the amplification matrix. Rocket League does have that support ultimate, is going to be having to call lessons, but they have to use it very early on if they want to take an advantage.
And Coalescence is a pretty fast-charging ultimate too, so don't know how willy-nilly they're going to be throwing that around. Hopefully not too much. A big freeze comes out, and Choco Man decides to take it away with 2 kills on the high noon. Right now, there have been some exchanges back and forth, but so far, RIT coming out on top for that.
And doing really good, especially with the ultimate economy. RIT is going to have the Shatter and the Blizzard as well. Really good initiation tools if they want to take a few more picks from the side of Quinnipiac University. And passing the 50%, ideally with this fight, they can get to that 70 or 80, and that is going to be enough to guarantee one more fight.
One more fight could be the game changer for them. The Earthshatter comes through, finding quite a few members. It is actually Choco Man who goes down first, though, and Link isn't quick to follow after that. Quinnipiac definitely coming out on top after committing those couple of ultimates.
Yeah, it was a very good initiation, playing more aggressive and catching Rochester a little bit off guard, which I really like seeing from Quinnipiac University. And now it's just a matter of using those ultimates and dragons to create the space and delay that next push as soon as possible, because like we talked about, ultimate economy for Rochester is there.
Ooh, the grab is thrown. Both grabs are thrown, and the dragon combo comes out for Quinnipiac. In return, Rochester has to drop both support ultimates to keep their team alive, and well, it is looking like it might have been worth it. They do get to take down quite a few members of Quinnipiac, and well, they are going to flip the point in their favor, 76% and counting, Dryad.
This is going to be maybe one more fight that Quinnipiac can do to retake the point if they don't want it to get to 99 for inside of Rochester. But Rochester, really good use of ultimate economy. They still have a couple to go. That Blitzer has not been used from the side of Essel, which Aquaman also has that Deadeye that we saw before being so detrimental to Quinnipiac.
And that freeze that happened before the Deadeye as well. Just great communication, just like you had mentioned earlier before this match. OT is successfully triggered, and, well, the tank goes down for Quinnipiac, and so do more members going down one after another. The OT bar is going to trickle down here as it bleeds away, and, well, all Lucio can do is stall and touch the point a little bit more as often as he can. That wall comes through, and Moira has to commit the fade to even touch the point and trigger OT. That's got to be rough, and well, that is a point secured there for Rochester.
Actual getting those final blows as well. The support lineup also putting their own part in getting those kills, and Rochester looking very strong so far. Even though I'm very surprised that Quinnipiac took that one fight and it was in a really well manner. Seems like they already know their winning condition here, and it has to be initiating before Rochester does. And even though that doesn't sound as complicated, it is knowing that their opponent is all the way up in the table. That composition, that mirror match, even though it plays a big part, is more about the playstyle that you want to bring. Do you want to play more passive when you are defending, or do you want to play more aggressive here?
It's a tough call, especially on control, right? Because at some point, being passive a little bit can give you that opportunity to then become the aggressor. So, kind of a back and forth cat and mouse dance between the two teams. Once again, Rochester is deciding to go up here for the high ground, actually. So, not once again, but a bit of a change of pace from the two, as we had seen Quinnipiac take high ground early last time. They have been separated by that May wall, and, well, unfortunately, their Reinhardt is the first person to go down. Losing that frontline shield is going to be really tough for them as they decide to retreat back, and, well, nobody is going to escape very easily after that.
It's not going to be as easy as I would want it to be, and with that, another point that is captured right away by Rochester University. Now, Quinnipiac, they have the opportunity to regroup, but no ultimates. The best thing they can do here is go into a little bit of that poke phase, trying to get those ultimates. Ideally, that ultimate from the Baptiste, that amplification matrix, is going to be enough to put the pressure into the high ground.
It would be great if you only had to commit one ultimate, right? That's totally an ideal team fight there. So far, though, it has been a bit of a skirmish here on the point as members of Quinnipiac are pushing from the left and the right side around the point. Firewolf is the first person to go down again, and it looks like that tank is following suit very quickly after that. Quinnipiac definitely needs to change some things up if they're going to punch through the defense of Rochester.
Jefferman once again getting those kills at the end, and this is going to delay the next push for Quinnipiac, so it's not looking very good for them. The Dragons are going to be ready, but we didn't really see a lot of value from them coming through on the last sub-nap that we saw in University, and now Rochester, they have to figure out the best way to hold the defense, and they know it's gotta be holding the high ground.
They also have that High Noon and the Blizzard online, and Blizzard can be such a great zoning ultimate to just either stall or kill time. There it is, thrown right away, and, well, the High Noon, McCree is caught in it. He just gets melted down by Blue Jay right there in front of it, and, well, that is a grab also committed from the side of RIT, so a bit surprising there, in my opinion, to see that very valuable ultimate thrown at the end.
And ideally, you want to use this ultimate to initiate, right? So it's going to be detrimental now, especially because for the side of Rochester, they're passing that 90%. This is going to be one less fight territory unless Quinnipiac University is able to take it back. And the only opportunity for them might be building that shadow as soon as possible from the side of Firewall.
Oh, man. And, well, Mayonnaise is taken down early. He falls off, I guess. Maybe doesn't quite wall climb the way he wants. The shatter comes through, though, for RIT, and a couple members go down. They are cleaning them up, though, here as the grab is thrown. It finds a couple members, and, well, Mayonnaise launches his dragons from spawn in a desperate attempt to try to tear through any damage here. It does hit a bunch of them, but it's not going to be enough as Rochester takes this first map.
In a very, very organized manner, Rochester is going to take advantage here. It's going to be 1-0 in Quinnipiac. They had the right composition. They did, like, saying that mirror, but as we were talking about before, because of how strong Rochester is at the specific composition and how strong they are at that Rent area, ideally you want to see Quinnipiac trying to counter them a little bit more for the future maps.
Yeah, I really hope that they are able to identify those threats, and, you know, you can't always shut down other characters or players, right? That's easier said than done, but a little bit of containment can actually come into play if you're able to work together and watch each other's back. But the tough part is identifying it, right? They gotta get that initial step there.
Yeah, and especially because Quinnipiac did come up with the realization that the one initiation tool that worked out for them was playing aggressive. It worked out, they controlled the point for a little bit, but then they couldn't hold it. So they know that Rochester's secret really is all about the aggression of their playstyle. You have to play to that level if you want this to be an even match, an even map for what we're going to be seeing now.
Totally. And if they're not going to match that, they could get steamrolled, or not necessarily steamrolled, but bowled over is maybe a more accurate visualization of that. You know, they just run through the front line, taking down one player after another. And I want to see Quinnipiac definitely pick it up and, like you said, get aggressive. That was what was working for them.
Especially because of this composition, right? Because sometimes you see double shield, and for double shield you play a little bit slower. you kind of have to play very smart, and the position is going to be the most important thing just because you don't have that speed. But for rush and for brawl style positions, you definitely do need that speed. You need to be faster than the enemy team, and you also need to build that ultimate economy before the enemy team. So Rochester is doing an amazing job. Now we have to wait to see if Quinnipiac is able to catch up.
That's absolutely true. And we'll have to see if they can, maybe bring us a little bit different gameplay that we've seen from Oasis to the next map of King's Row, right? Everybody loves King's Row, between the first point hold and some of the other streets aspects, depending on your position. Those snipers sometimes really have a heyday. But we've been seeing that brawl comp. I would not be surprised if they continued to bring that to the table a bit here in King's Row.
Yeah, for King's Row, and I think we just heard that RIT is going to be attacking first, which I think is a very, very interesting approach. I mean, if you're a team that likes to play aggressive, then you want to definitely go on the attacking side, which is going to be beneficial for RIT, but when teams are taking the advantage, well, we were talking about this before when we were with them, teams like to go on the defense just because it gives you that strong sense that if you have that full hold, then it's going to be easy for you to get a single tick and get the map over with. But I mean, also on the other hand, if you like King's Row that match, you might as well go on the attack, go through the full right of the map.
Right. I think it's definitely one of those types of preferences a team could have as far as like, do they want to instigate this attack, right? How do they want to be the ones setting this offensive pace in the bar that everybody else needs to come up and be with them? Or are they going to be more reactive and see where the bar is placed and how far they actually need to go? Especially with, RIT being at the top of the ranking. I'm excited to see them push first and try to establish a very high bar that they want Quinnipiac to rise up to and meet them at.
Yeah, that's a very, very good perspective, at least for the setup. Quinnipiac University starting on the deep end, they have to be very careful. Those rotations right at the beginning are going to be crucial for them to try to stay alive. The minute that one of them goes down, that's the minute that Rochester is going to be having the green light to initiate, and that's what the Wrecking Ball is trying to do.
Oh man, and that anti that comes through, just devastating, landing on so many members of Quinnipiac there. And after that, everybody from Rochester TP'd in and just hit the W key to continue pushing forward and removing members from the point there. Quinnipiac not even gonna let the Mercy escape here. Oh, what a great final pick. And it's actually the Reinhardt's Fire Strike that comes through with that on the Mercy. Wow.
Getting that Mercy very, very crucial as well. And Rochester, a single fight was enough for them. And like you said, it was an anti-need that connected perfectly along with the damage coming through. And now Quinnipiac, they just have to regroup, try to hold the defense, but they need to all be together. You want to take an advantage again.
We got a little bit of a teleport play coming through here. Not sure what they're going to do strategy-wise as far as continuing to utilize that, but it has been extremely effective for their offense. And, well, quite frankly, they just pushed in and swarmed that point for the first attack, which Quinnipiac was not ready for. We can see Hammond getting that good pressure from behind. He was hunting down that Mercy, and now he's looking for those back lines in front. Just going to bowl through again, displacing a lot of people. The Earthshatter comes through, finds 2 DPS in the back line, but not the capitalization there to continue pushing forward onto it. A couple members are going down back and forth between the teams, but quite frankly, RIT is continuing to just walk this payload forward. They have a massive time bank still in their clock, but finally, Quinnipiac looks like they are able to stem this bleeding and reset a bit.
Yeah, they're going to be having that reset going on for them. Rochester, they have to play a little bit more careful. A single fight is going to be enough for them to get to the second checkpoint where Quinnipiac. Once again, they have to play careful. Not that a lot of ultimates. They have to initiate very early on with that amplification metrics from Broccoli. If not, then this is going to be really hard for them to hold.
Ooh, Grub is getting ready for that high noon there. He is already spotted out, and if that... good thing that Doomfist backed off there. Definitely baited out that flashbang to get it out of the way, and now he's the only one left to try to defend the point, and he's just going to try to back off and reset. Quinnipiac is taken out for that fight, and, well, Rochester gets to cap the second point here at 5:20 left on the clock.
a lot of time for Rochester to try to get that last checkpoint. Maybe 2 fights are going to be enough. Maybe a long fight if Quinnipiac is not able to go very early on. And now is when you have to see Broccoli using that amplification matrix. But in the meantime, you hear the High Noon doesn't really get any kills as Quinnipiac, the one who's trying to take his space.
Oh man, and Rochester has so many ultimates online to just throw left and right for the fight. Hopefully they don't throw them all at once. That Symmetra is so charged at the moment, just absolutely melting people's shield and people in general. The sound barrier is committed for RIT as they also commit the Shatter on top of it. They've decided that they are going to continue to press forward and get those kills on top. Additionally, so far that Doomfist has been putting in some good pressure work all around, but Quinnipiac needs to get back quick and regroup if they want to try to hold before this third checkpoint here. We see that it's the Ryan and Zarya on that right side, just on their own. They don't have any healers quite yet. Oh, Bap is up there, keeping them alive from the off angle, and he gets booped off right away. Quinnipiac is committing the Valk as well. This is the third checkpoint. They have got to hold it here and make a stand if they want to try to prevent the point from being capped. All 3 points here. Right now, the High Noon is committed by Grub, and he actually finds one. That's huge as he finds another one as well, continuing to put in the work, and Quinnipiac is looking good as they're going to be able to stem this bleeding once again that RIT caused.
3 minutes still, and that means the payload is so close. Rochester, they only need to win a single fight, and think that they did a really good job. The spine advantage definitely benefiting them there. Now I'm very curious to see that Shatter has to land from the set of Firewolf if they want to get the initiation again.
Earth Shatter comes through, finds a little bit, but there is a much bigger Earth Shatter that also has a grab to combo with it on top of it. Doesn't look like it matters though as an overkill, and well, round 1 has been completed with 3:19 on the clock. Wow, that's a big time bank.
It definitely is a big time bank, but I'm very glad to see Quinnipiac making a few adaptation changes very early on. They were able to win a couple fights and to hold the defense for a little bit longer, taking into account that they wasted about 2 minutes from the last part, and Rochester, who had 5, were now down to 3. But the biggest challenge is about to come for Quinnipiac. They have to play very, very aggressive now, and it is not going to be easy when they're letting Rochester initiate the fights over and over again.
Quinnipiac does look pretty reactive. They are letting Rochester initiate, and I hope that they can kind of take the reins on this defense here a bit. You know, Rochester just punched through that choke point using that TP, so I wonder if Quinnipiac is going to... Looks like they are teasing the sniper a bit. Maybe they'll try to get an early pick off if possible, or... oh, maybe pick off that Echo altogether.
Really seen that Echo, in fact. It puts a lot of damage and a lot of pressure. You're able to, with a duplicate, turn into one of the tanks, maybe a Reinhardt, maybe a Zarya. That is going to be super beneficial for your team. So I'm very excited to see this pick on the side of the defense. And in the meantime, for the side of Quinnipiac, as the doors open, we're going to be seeing a lot of the same tanks coming through.
Good thing Mayonnaise is standing out of the way of that doorway for a minute as the icicles were just pelting through. Now looking to brave it here and try to find an early pick, but can't quite find the shot there. Too much wall dancing coming out from the opposing May. So far though, she has decided to get aggressive as the wall does split off a couple members, but no one seems to be frozen in that little whiz spray that she's got going on. Firewolf is the first person to go down though, and well, once again, Rochester successfully focuses down the main tank and takes him out of the equation.
In the meantime, is going to be Broccoli getting the pick until Baptiste has to pay for it. There is a lot of those picks trying to be that Quinnipiac University is trying to get Rochester, making it really impossible. Those rotations that we mentioned at the beginning now are coming through, very essential, making that rotation through Hotel and protecting themselves from any damage that the attackers are trying to do.
RIT did drop back a little bit to give some space before this next engagement, but right now they have taken down Firewolf again first, and well, that dupe Shatter is built so quickly they were not going to stand a chance between the value that their Echo has been bringing to the table. That is another reset coming through, and well, Quinnipiac needs to really get aggressive if they want to punch through and cap this first point.
Yeah, that's definitely what they need to do. They need to get those ultimates and start to take advantage of them. Broccoli does have the amplification matrix being used to get one of the kills is going to be the opening that they are waiting for. But Roger, they're prepared for this, and because of that, they're taking that rotation once again. Echo playing all the way in the back.
Ooh, Firewolf does go ahead and dash through while he's on top of that Maywall. Nonetheless, they do get grabbed as well, and Quinnipiac manages to survive to a certain degree. They have a bunch of members, and, well, it is Grub that has decided to carry and put the team on his back. He gets so many kills there, and even though he's frozen in the blizzard, they have been enabled to successfully cap this first point here.
That was a really good job from Grub getting those kills with the high noon. No one was looking at this McCree, and this is when the McCrees are able to pop up when everyone is looking away in between the fights. But so University now, they have to push forward. They don't want to let Quinnipiac pass this corner. They weren't really expecting Quinnipiac to get this point, but now they have to face the consequences of their mistake.
Oh, and that Maywall almost sections off Firewolf, which could have been devastating. He has been the first person to go down pretty consistently, so maybe a few more resources need to get pumped into him, because look at him go as he does get the kill onto the opposing Reinhardt as well. Really nice job coming through as Quinnipiac looks like they're actually able to continue moving forward and take some good space away from RIT. They're getting aggressive here just like we were wanting.
Really good job now from Quinnipiac. They are building the ultimate economy as well. The Blizzard is about to be ready for Rochester. All they can hope for is to regroup, as Ashel doesn't have the Blizzard. This is going to be crucial for them to use early on if they want to take the second point.
Oh, McCree falls very low. Grub does get topped off after that. There's the Blizzard thrown there. So many members of RIT caught on it, but they are also sound barriered and quite reinforced. Now Quinnipiac decides it is time to continue cleaning up. They did get smashed onto the ground by that dupe Earthshatter, but it is not going to be enough. Coming out from RIT is Quinnipiac really turning it around, and I would say this is almost a completely different team than we saw before.
Quinnipiac looking, like you said, like a completely different team. They will be able to take the second checkpoint, and now they have quite a lot of time to make it to third, 4 minutes, and quite a lot of ultimates as well. I love seeing that Blizzard being used early on. Now Rochester, they have the ultimates, but can they use them effectively?
Ooh, yeah, that would be so good. There's the Blizzard now coming out from RIT from on that front. A couple members are getting caught in it, and oh, they are just deleted down after RIT can capitalize on the Blizzard.
The kills finally coming through in Rochester, finally regaining their momentum that they lost for a little bit. Quinnipiac has to go once again into that poke phase if they want to build those ultimates, especially from Reinhardt that are so essential. But Link with the Shatter in the meantime coming through and connecting really well.
What a sneaky Shatter. They didn't even see him behind that little ledge there. Too focused on the front line. And Blue Jay does manage to mow down the Mei as well, right before the point of freezing. So, great team kill there coming out from RIT. They got some resources online as well.
We don't see Reinhardt do that sneaky Shatter as often, but every time it's really impressive. Now the Gravity Source is going to come through, but everyone trying to counter and to stay alive from the start of the attack.
That sound barrier was so clutch coming out from Cookie. A lot of people reinforced by that, and no one went down from it. Now Firewolf, though, is the first person to go down to that fire strike out from the opposing Reinhardt. Now Rochester is continuing to clean up the other members of Quinnipiac, and yeah.
This is going to be it, at least for that fight. But Quinnipiac University, they haven't given up just yet. They will be pushing forward. They want to pass this quarter finally, but Rochester is just making it impossible.
Oh, and it's a grab Blizzard here. The High Noon is popped and manages to find one, and another member goes down from RIT. Right now, Quinnipiac is continuing to press the W key and move forward as they're looking to find and get those last kills here. Bap does make it out just in the nick of time and avoids that Grub or McCree Grub as the McCree there. So far, Corey Trevor does get that early pick though. The Blizzard from RIT is thrown, trying to counteract and mitigate some of the assault coming through, but Quinnipiac does lose their members now, and they are gonna have to reset after that. Ooh, Blue Jay tearing it up.
Yeah, Blazers just pressing W, getting those kills again. They're not letting Quinnipiac take any more space. 1 minute 30 seconds remaining. This is about 1 or 2 fights. They have to make them fast if they want to make them 2. Rochester, they don't want to go to yet another round here in King's Row, and because of that, they're going to have a very aggressive defense.
Yeah, if they can hold them here, they won't have to go to that extra round and they can actually just take the dub for themselves. But obviously, Quinnipiac is not looking to let that happen. They want to get aggressive and move forward and continue. There is the Earthshatter coming through. It doesn't find anyone. Oh, that's got to be rough, though. Choco Man does pop his high noon as well. And, well, so far it has been back and forth. Grub. Oh, and Firewolf now going down. There's only a little bit under a minute left. And Quinnipiac needs to reset here if they want to have a chance at recontesting here for the 3rd point.
45, one last fight. That is so that Quinnipiac is going to get in Rochester. They do have the ultimate economy here to push in. They're about to have a sound barrier as well to protect themselves from any sort of damage that Quinnipiac is going to put. They have to play this fast with the Lucy. That speed boost is going to be essential for them to try to get the kill.
Hopefully they can utilize the sound barrier as well and use it more as an offensive engage than the defensive. The Blizzard from Essel comes through from RIT, and, well, it is zoning a lot of members of Quinnipiac back. I don't even know if they're going to be able to touch the point after that. With 9 seconds left, the sound barrier does come through, keeping the healers alive, and, well, I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch. They've been walled off. The grab is thrown, and, well, Dryad, that is all she wrote.
That is all that is going to take for Rochester to win the 2nd map. There's one more to go for them if they want to make it a 3-0. But so far, they've looked so dominant that it's going to be so hard for Quinnipiac to come back.
Yeah, I mean, Rochester really showing us why they are on the top of the rankings, and, you know, some really solid communication and focus fire. There's a couple moments there where we could probably see a little bit cleaned up, but all in all, really good communication. I loved seeing those tanks, especially the Zarya, going up to the high ground for that last point, shooting down from above, and really applying the pressure from all angles like we see, you know, the stronger teams do. A lot of crossfire is, you know, makes it tough to block or find cover.
Yeah, the positioning is always so important. Sometimes you want to play closer to your main tank and have that extra protection and that healing that you need, but sometimes you want to play that up angle, so it's so important for teams to really evaluate when they want to swap between these two. And for Rochester, it worked out perfectly. Now, Quinnipiac, they look stronger, so I'm hoping that they look stronger and stronger coming through, especially for the next map.
Yeah, and they had a pretty decent time bank there at the end to really try to cap that 3rd point. So I thought it was a really good turnaround by them, especially compared to, you know, our first control map. I feel like they really, stepped it up and showed that they don't want to just get stepped on or rolled over against Rochester. But we'll have to wait to see if they can continue bringing the heat or if Rochester will, you know, hold strong and stay consistent. We are going to go to a quick break, but we will be right back, folks. So see you soon. Hello, folks, and welcome back here to our EGFC Overwatch games this evening. We are about to go over to Hanamura here for maybe our last map of the evening. We'll have to see if Quinnipiac is able to, come through and potentially reverse sweep if possible. It is going to be a really tough matchup, though, as Rochester Institute of Technology, RIT, is our current number one. Dryad, we've seen some really good play actually come out from Quinnipiac as far as their evolution from map 1 to map 2. What do you think they should really be focusing on to try to take this win on Hanamura?
Yeah, I was about to mention that, and is that they've been doing a little bit better, but now this is a time where they have to do the best that they have so far. And for Quinnipiac, what they need to do here really is just play more aggressive, but also play a little bit more united, because we see some positionings that they are punished for immediately by Rochester. So Rochester, because of that certainty that they have, they know exactly where they have to be, what rotations they have to take. And for Quinnipiac, they have to step up to that level.
Yeah, I really like the idea of them playing unified as well. I think that's a great call out that we need to see coming through. And well, hopefully Rochester is going to be able to continue to perform the way we have seen consistently through the first couple of maps. They are looking to get that little poke damage here through the window as well. They have just slid in through the side thanks to that Maywall there, doing a lot of mitigation and preventing anyone from being able to stop them. This rotation coming around here on this high ground, they're getting peppered down, and it is Essel here on the May that comes out victorious in that DPS duel. Across the way. So far, Rochester decides that this is the time to continue capitalizing on that initial pick. The res is attempted and it's successful, but unfortunately Cookie does have to pay for it with their life. That is going to be a first point cap here by RIT as Quinnipiac decides to opt for the reset.
Brave has attacked for the first point, and Rochester, they're going to take that first. Now going into second, also the Ultimate Academy looking good. The opportunity for that snowball is totally there, and Quinnipiac, the strongest defense they can have now is the moment for them to bring it. They don't really have any ultimates, so the best thing they can do is just try to stay alive with those rotations.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's no ultimates online for anyone. So Rochester with a very divisive and concise push there on that last one. The Earth Shatter doesn't find anyone. That's rough. A little bit mistimed there. Another one comes through and, doesn't find anyone either. Both Reinhardt's getting a big swing and a miss there. And thankfully, though, that BAP is putting in a lot of work as Ziplink is just continuing to be the DPS. Right now, RIT is on the point, and they're about to pop that Ant Matrix. Oh, they're all crispy, but the Ant Matrix is popped in time to keep them alive and well topped off. The Bob from Quinnipiac has been thrown, continuing to hold point presence, but so far all they can do is trickle in one after another and try to play the game. And that's a round 1 completion, Dryad. 4:52 on the clock.
That was also really good cleanup from the McCree and the DUF from Rochester. They just got the kills very early on, and with that they have a huge time banking because this goes to around 3. But Quinnipiac, they now have the biggest challenge, and is going to be try to at least match the time back that Rochester did, which is not going to be easy.
Nah, not with 4:52 on the clock. And with Rochester, who was able to just punch through the defensive line on their first really push, is what I would argue. They had a little bit of that standard poke phase in the beginning, but once they made that rotation, it was pretty much downhill from there for Quinnipiac. And losing the DPS duel from Mayonnaise to Choco Man, I think, was just a super tough start off for that battle for them.
It's just unfortunate, and that's why I was counting out the positioning, because you definitely need... well, it has to go again. Every time I try that, I also die, so I learned just to go the normal way.
Bye, have a beautiful time.
They'll come back in time, right?
Right.
Maybe. I mean, but Rochester, you're not very worried. They do have a really strong DPS lined up to come back. They definitely are not getting there in time. But the DPS can hope to get a few kills, which at least break the show from Quinnipiac University early on. And that's going to delay the push enough.
And I hope that the Symmetra strat is really successful for them, and they can actually get some good movement around. Ooh, they've been spotted out. Grub, if you stand still, you're gonna get shot, buddy. Be careful. Whew. I know you're setting up the TP, but, you know, maybe keep a little bit of squats going on at the minimum. He does set up that TP right there on the high ground, and it's just insta-deleted after that. Not sure if it was deleted or just dismantled from his part. So far, RIT is continuing to pepper damage from above and just repel Quinnipiac from being able to push through this choke point, Dryad.
Yes, a huge problem to use this matchup because this is what every team is expecting on the first attack, and that is exactly what the defense from Rochester was expecting. And now Quinnipiac, they're struggling to come in when they only try to do was a teleporter. Now they have to push a little bit more broadly with the Reinhardt.
And it's going to be tough here pushing into, you know, the front line of Rochester itself. Both immortality fields were popped and, well, thankfully they were deleted just as quickly. Firewolf is the first person to go down, and, well, right now Rochester decides to continue trying to push and repel Quinnipiac from getting on the point. Mayonnaise does manage to find a kill and squeeze one out, but I don't know if it's going to be enough as more members of Quinnipiac are continuing to go down left and right. Mayonnaise just being the one to squeeze out the kills a little bit.
Almost got the 33%, but didn't quite happen for Quinnipiac. And with that, the reset had to happen. Rochester ultimate economy looking really good for the tanks. That flux to initiate is going to be available, and that is going to bait the immortality field coming from Broccoli. That is going to be essential for the team to start out the fight.
Oh, and a flux to open up from RIT, forcing out that immortality field from Broccoli early on. Grub is the first person, though, to find blood in this most recent engage as the Zenyatta does go down. He has to pay for it with his life, but Quinnipiac decides flooding on the point is the time right now. They go around this far right side, and they do have their Blizzard online. It looks like they're finding some ground here, but Corey Trevor goes down. Oh, he fell so low, and he was so high charged on that front. It is just poor Mayonnaise all alone here on the point, and, well, 1:30 on the clock left, Dryad.
Yeah, there's a few kills that are coming through for this Quinnipiac, but they're not really enough to win the fight, and they need to have a clean fight now in the next minute if they want to take control of the first point. They have the gravity and surge though, so this is a big opportunity for them to initiate.
Clean fight is going to be the name of the game. I totally agree with you there. The Bob is committed from RIT, and it manages to take down the Lucio as well. They did have a couple trades, and, well, right now it's still anyone's match. Quinnipiac could come through and clutch this out as the grab is thrown, and they decide to clean through everyone caught in it. Firewolf just swinging away left and right. It is hammer time for him. Right now, Quinnipiac is trying to continue capping the point here. Choco Man getting a lot of value in from this high ground and continuing to just pepper and pester them. Finally, he is taken down, and, well, with 36 seconds left on the clock, Quinnipiac manages to cap the first point and move along to the second objective.
Yeah, and we saw the Ash trying to contest the point for a little bit longer. There was just way too much pressure coming from Quinnipiac. They didn't have a lot of time left, but they definitely got a lot of value out of the minute that they have remaining. And now 3 minutes for them to get second point. They do have a Blizzard, they do have a Shatter, and they just need them to land, especially on those tanks.
Yeah, and if Quinnipiac, well, they haven't had the cleanest fights here, and for any kind of CP, it's going to be really tough, especially on this second point, to actually cap it if they clear everyone out. The Earth Shatter comes through, and it does find a member, but I don't know if there's going to be enough follow-up there, as, well, unfortunately, Quinnipiac is going down after that. Looks like they go for a full ride, woo, off the edge.
Alright, well, just having that confidence deciding to take Esso with them and Quinnipiac, they did use that Shatter, but it's also an ultimate that you're able to build really fast, especially if you're on aggressive Reinhardt, so I'm not too worried about the situation. It's more about how Rochester has been initiating the fight over and over again, and that's definitely something that they're looking forward to do, whether that is with the amplification again, or with the flux coming from Blue Jay, like we saw in that last fight.
And we actually also saw that Choco Man's Bob yielded a kill as well. So, a great little coach gun boop too, separating the Reinhardt there from his team. Right now, RIT trying to continue peppering Quinnipiac from all angles. They are there from above, the front line, and the sides now, collapsing forward and just hurting Quinnipiac out of the main alleyway here. That damage coming in from Chaco on this high window has just been immense pressure onto Quinnipiac as they just try to continue pushing forward. They're getting constantly berated here between the left and the right window. They can only block off one with the May wall, which thankfully allows them to focus more on the other side. But Quinnipiac is getting ready for this next push again. 127 left on the clock, and well, there is the supercharger coming out from RIT. It is very high there, and well, they have just deleted all the members of Quinnipiac right after that.
The high ground positioning benefiting Rochester quite a lot, especially with that supercharger, making it a clean fight. Megan is dying at the end. She's like Quinnipiac is going to wait a little bit longer for that reset to happen, and only a minute remaining. Very similar scenario to what we saw on that first checkpoint, or that first point here. And now Quinnipiac, they have the Blizzard. If they want to take control of the high ground, this is the best way to do it, but then they have to get those kills before Rochester does.
Right, and that's if Rochester doesn't just back out in time to avoid the blizzard altogether. They don't have the speed on their side, so definitely possible they could get caught out. There comes the push right now, and well, a few of them do get pulled back, but Quinnipiac is still alive. They get shattered, and a few of them are going down as well. Oh man, Essel on that dupe is just absolutely lethal there on that Reinhardt. There's only 20 seconds left, Dryad, and well, right now, members of Quinnipiac are continuing to be herded backwards. I don't know if they're going to be able to even get an opportunity to recontest here. There is 10 seconds and not a Quinnipiac member in sight. Oh, there they are.
They're going to try to touch there, but it's going to be too late for them. It seems like they have to get those kills fast, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
Ooh, yeah, a desperate attempt there by the Lucio and Reinhardt to try to hold space. Sound barrier committed is about the best you can do, and you know, another powerhouse performance coming out from Rochester.
Getting yet another 3-0 into Rochester, and that is something that you're going to be very proud of. Quinnipiac, they were doing a little bit better, especially in King's Row, but they weren't able to try to make that comeback properly. Even though I think compared to the performance that we saw from them before, there has been an improvement, especially compared to other teams. And Rochester, not really a surprise to them to take another victory. So I'm very curious to see how the interview is going to go for them.
Yeah, I am curious, and you know, I wonder what's been going on in their mind a bit since they are on the top of the rankings, and you know, thus one of the biggest targets, as every number one ranking team or person is. And well, I also want to say that I was really happy to see some of those good pushes come out from Quinnipiac. You know, we saw a little bit of a struggle here, a bit all over the place, but they were able to pull it together a few times really, really well. And, well, give Rochester a bit of a, we'll call it, tell them to catch their breath, right? They're like, oh, okay, we should be more careful, keeping everyone in check. So I was really happy to see them come through and be a threat in that way.
Yeah, definitely, and I think Rochester wasn't expecting to lose as many fights as they did with Quinnipiac, even when Quinnipiac couldn't take the victory. It was something that, like you said, caught them off guard, and this is something really good to remind that any sort of team that at whatever level you can still take a few fights, you can still sort of overwhelm the enemy team, and Quinnipiac did a really good job of that.
Yeah, and you know, I would love to see the Rochester when we, you know, cover the finals at some point, just really either establish themselves as a dominating force when we're going through those playoffs, or, you know, are we going to see them maybe lose some of that polish and crispness when it's actually time to make or break it here in the finals? You never know how the pressure's going to affect people. There's a lot on the line. And, you know, that mental fortitude is extremely important. We've all been tilted before. Mental fortitude's important.
Oh yeah, for
Uh,
sure, and especially with these teams that when you lose over and over again, you just have to reset your mental as soon as possible. Try to go again.
Oh, yeah. And, before we go into our interview, we are going to take a quick break and we'll pull over someone from Rochester here to talk about their win and congratulate them. So give us a minute, folks, and we'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We have Essel here from the Rochester Institute of Technology to interview with us this evening. Essel, first off, congratulations on your victory. How are you feeling coming off of this and, as the number one ranking team going into the weekend and the upcoming matches?
We're feeling pretty good. We're definitely confident in a lot more comps than we were before. We're learning a lot more like play styles than we were before, and we showed that off a little today with the double shield. So I'm pretty confident that no team is going to be able to just keep us down on one comp. We'll always be able to switch to another comp if we're losing.
Nice. That sounds like you guys are going to bring a lot of variance and diversity to your play style. So I hope that your competition can adapt and overcome, or maybe not, obviously, depending on who you're cheering for.
Yeah, and especially because yeah, it actually caught my attention that you said that you guys been learning different sort of play styles. This is sort of a similar question that I was asking in our last match, but I want to ask you because you guys are the ones that are on top. We see that teams at other sort of competitions at higher ranks of Overwatch, they play this sort of meta and they stick to it until it changes. But you guys want to bring something else. Do you ever consider playing that meta that everyone is playing, or are you comfortable that here at EGF you're able to get away with maybe playing double shield sometimes, maybe dive, maybe brawl, like just like you've been doing?
We're pretty confident that we can run what our strategy is of just running brawl, kind of. We haven't really practiced much meta, and we've never really been a meta team. We've always been really good at brawl. I don't even know
Yeah,
what meta is right now.
it's like grind diva, so it's not that
Oh,
that far.
yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, choked on a little water on my end. So you guys are in this college league here. So what inspired you to join and want to be competitive in the esports scene in college?
I've been playing in like what's it called Path to Pro Tier 3 for like 3-ish years now, so it kind of just seemed like a natural step for me to play on the college team that I go to.
Nice. Very nice. And what has your experience been like in this college setting versus maybe beforehand in your path to pro that you had?
It's a lot more relaxed sometimes because while we're trying to win, we're also having a lot of fun while doing it. Granted, that's true on the teams, but I think it's just a lot more fun with the people at your college because you can meet them, hang out with them later, and just have a good time overall with them.
Nice. Really building those relationships and, getting everybody's synergy together, both in and out of the game. Always good to hear. Now, to wrap up, is there anyone, of course, that you want to shout out or call out to? Thank you for supporting in all those times. Floor is yours. Take it away.
Uh, I'll just thank my team again, like usual. We played well today, and I'm proud of how we played. That's about it.
Nice, very nice. Well, congratulations once again on your win and best of luck to you coming up in the finals and I hope that you guys are able to retain and play consistently enough to keep that #1 rank.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on stream.
Totally. You have a great night. And well, folks, that is also going to wrap up